And crystal clear then.
I mean, you're not the only one. I'm also dealing with allergies. I've been dealing with allergies for like 3 months.
I've been dealing with allergies ever since I started playing VR chat because I've been having to deal with so much bullshit.
Alright. How do you want to start this?
I don't know. We usually just you hit play, I say something quippy or funny, and then I stare blankly at the camera and go, "Welcome to episode 4 of Shenanigans will ensue." She's Mina, I'm Viger. We still have no clue what we're doing with this show.
No idea.
None whatsoever ever, most of the time. I'm a little bit under the weather. Mina's a little bit under the weather. So... yeah, this would be a perfect opportunity to record.
Okay.
So what are we going to do today on this episode?
We're going to play Would You Push...
Well,
what?
Sorry. Yeah, we have no structure to this either, but I think usually whenever these episodes start with any sort of podcast, the co-hosts tend to ask how the other is doing. I'm so absent-minded and full and so congested, I didn't even think of that immediately. So, aside from that as well, we haven't actually been playing VR chat a lot recently. So there's a good amount of time things could have been happening. So, since the last time I talked to you, how you been?
It's been a roller coaster. Getting into fights with Lamb.
Anything willing to discuss to the masses, putting it out there into the ether.
Okay, so today he messaged me. I have an hour left of work and said we need to talk, and he wouldn't tell me why.
Never a good sign.
So for an hour,
very much never a good sign because that's usually the girl thing to do. Because us guys are super clueless and dumb.
He said that he wanted to talk because he was depresso espresso. That he needed love and affection. I was like, I knew this. I already knew this. Why'd you say we had to talk?
If you made it sound worse and be like, just say, yo, I need cuddles immediately.
Exactly.
Would have gone a lot better.
But other than that... for the people that don't know, I got married in VR chat. Lammy is now my hubby.
I was the maid of honor. I still don't know how that works out. I thought you had to be a girl in order to do that, but in this day and age, what is a gender?
True. Also, usually the maid of honor is like the person you trust most other than your spouse. So.
Yeah, that's true. And the best man is supposed to be the guy that, in olden times, was supposed to take the bullet if the groom was ever going to get assassinated on his wedding day.
Oh my god, I did not know that!
That's how he's supposed to be like the quote-unquote body double.
Wow.
Like someone close to you, someone who would be there for you. I could be completely wrong with this, but that's a very good story and a very good origin.
That's amazing.
As for me, aside from being there for your important VR day, I'm under the weather, as you can so clearly tell. No, I'm not sniffing cocaine. What made you think that?
Okay, Hamburger.
Yeah,
calm down.
The usual work. Gotcha lifestyle. The same old rigmarole that I'm accustomed to right now. I live a boring life. She's the exception because she's not boring in any way, shape, or form. Always fun to be around with, and I would like to think that I'm the same to you as well.
Absolutely.
A shoulder to cry on and a quick laugh. And easy recipient of TikToks.
Don't out me like that.
I watch every single one of them. I may not respond, but I am sure as hell watching them and smiling when their heart felt like that.
Dude, TikTok's ruined
so
me.
what are we going to do today?
Let's do what we're doing. Okay.
My brain is full of mucus right now. I'm not thinking straight, which is going to be wonderful for what we are going to be doing today.
Yes, what we will be doing is would you push the button?
Yeah, so for those of you who don't know what this is, it's an oldie but a goodie from a bygone era in ye olden days of 2010. The premise is you get to push a button and a thing that most likely you're going to want to have happen to either you or people that you care about will happen. But if you push that button, something else unrelated, most likely very negative, will happen as well. And the moral dilemma, questionable ethical things is would you push the button to receive A, but B is going to happen as well. And we're going to see how each of us would respond to said button press.
All right. This one's
And this will be
pretty light. So, will you push the button? You have $1 billion, but if you don't spend it all in 48 hours, you will lose everything you bought with it.
okay.
I don't know about
That's
you,
easy.
but I'd push it.
Yeah, because there's an easy way to get around this. So the first thing you do, you have $1 billion in front of you. Invest it all in stock. Then you get reimbursed for it. And you've spent $1 billion on stock, you don't lose it, and then you get like $1 billion plus back. So now that Elon Musk owns Twitter, investing in Tesla probably has something worthwhile to it. So dropping $1 billion to get to Mars would probably be suffice. I don't do stocks at all, but I think that's how you get to Mars. You invest in Tesla. I think I could be wrong on that front too.
All right.
But I would do that because that's the easy workaround on that front. You could easily spend $1 billion on just random garbage somewhere. You're not random garbage. Don't point at yourself like that. I'd buy a friggin' aircraft carrier and call it a day.
You can time travel to any period of time you desire, past or present, but you can never come back.
Ooh. No, that's an interesting one. Because you're leaving your entire life and family behind. And you're going into another era where you have complete foresight of everything that's going to happen. You have all the knowledge from the future being brought back. But it's not like you're going to be able to seamlessly insert yourself into some like world government and avert crisis after crisis all over the time. Because I mean, between the two of us, we're like the least credible people on the face of the planet when it comes to saying, "Yo, Mr. Kennedy probably shouldn't be in an open top car in Texas. It's just a hunch. Probably shouldn't." Hey, yo, Hawaii, there's a bunch of planes that are be kind of come over to you in about tomorrow. Probably should unlock the ammo. Just saying. But again, some two random hoo-has from Lord knows where. Yeah, we're not that credible.
No.
Not in the slightest.
I wouldn't want to because I would be like, I'd be leaving you, Lammy. I don't know about you, but Lammy can't survive without me, so.
Yeah, I can't leave my family behind at all, as much as it would be interesting to be in a different era where you know exactly how everything is going to pan out and just basically being a spectator. You could be just sitting back with your feet propped up during the Cuban Missile Crisis, be like, it's all going to blow over. Don't worry about it. I wouldn't push that button, though.
No, I wouldn't.
I wouldn't. I'd be leaving too much that I like behind. My family, friends, my best friend, wouldn't do it.
All right. You gain unlimited amount of money, but you can't see any transport system never again.
So I have unlimited money. but I
We
can't
can't use.
drive anymore.
Yeah, you can't use any transport system ever, never again.
Can I walk?
I'm
going to assume that a scooter's probably like the minimum of what I can't do. I'm just going to go on an assumption that a scooter / skateboard is still technically a mode of transportation.
Yeah.
A horse is probably still a viable mode of transportation. So I can't do any of them. Anytime I try and get on a horse, it's going to kick me in the balls. Noted on that front. Every time I get on a motorized scooter, it's going to spontaneously combust.
Oh no, it would just eject you.
Well, any skateboard I try and get onto snaps in half because I'm fat. But here's the thing. In this day and age of Uber Eats and Twitch.tv and YouTube, if you have unlimited money but can't go anywhere, is that really a net loss? Sure, you can't basically leave your house, but if you live in a city somewhere, you can walk wherever you want. Because there's the fact that if you consider walking a mode of transportation, that's really like pulling straws there.
Yeah, but here's my thing. You wouldn't be able to travel anywhere.
That is true. Most of the time when you do get gobs of money, you want to see the world, not be confined to one specific space.
Yeah.
But then the thing is like, you could build the perfect place that you want to be right down the street. Or renovate the house that you're currently in and just like live in a tent on the property while everything's going on because you can't travel to a hotel while it's going down. But with unlimited money, you can basically build wherever you want to be.
Yeah.
I'd say yes, because I'm not going anywhere anytime soon.
Especially I'd say no.
with how the world, especially with how the way the world works. I'm not going anywhere. I've never left the continental United States ever in my life. I've gone as far west as Washington, as far east as New York, and as far south as Arkansas, which is not saying much, given the fact I live in Missouri. So, all right, I hear somebody in the comments. It's pronounced Arkansas.
I just read the next one. You won't do it.
Oh boy. Try me. Try me.
You get $1 million, but you have to blow a guy.
1 million is just not enough. I need like 1.5 million. No, I'm not pushing that button.
Which guys? If it's you, there's not enough money in the world. I'm not doing it.
I think I'd have to get one installed if you were going to cross that bridge. I mean, I'm looking down at me right now, and I'm not seeing much of anything. Again, that's just not enough. That'd have to be a very substantial amount of money, and this is coming off of the fact that we've been dealing with $1 billion that we have to spend in like 48 hours, unlimited money for not getting into a car, and now just $1 million to blow a guy. There's a very big downgrade for something people do for free most of the time.
Is that a bad thing that I'd say yes?
You're a girl, you can kind of get away with it. I think Lammy would be more than willing to give you a thumbs up, be like, $1 million, hot damn.
Be like, where's my wallet?
I'm driving out over. I'll pay for transit. My car's not going to explode trying to travel over here to make a quick million, or at least 500,000.
All right.
Because I would assume you would split it, or at least he gets 250 and you get 750. So that women are being paid appropriately. Anyway,
you have unlimited access to internet wherever you are, but each selfie or Snapchat you have ever sent will be published in newspapers.
Oh, I would kill to do that. Be a mobile Wi-Fi hotspot for myself, because I don't have Snapchat. I don't take selfies. None of those exist on the internet, period, or on any device I've ever had. And if I have taken what would be considered a selfie, it's probably just me smirking with a hat on, and a shirt, and pants, and preferably socks, at the very least. There was not one single embarrassing selfie that would be put out in the newspaper that I would be like, ooh, bad decision. For the fact that I could just have Wi-Fi literally everywhere I go.
I cannot say the same thing.
Again, we're going to the idea that you're a girl. I know you. You do. I would assume you would take a number of good selfies, some of which you would regret. Everybody's taking a picture that they'd later regret. I'm not one of them, because I don't care. And again, in this day and age, you're kind of without... There's never a point where you're not without Wi-Fi to begin with. If not 4G, 5G. You've got internet somewhere.
No, because when I was in... Okay, so my family has a family cabin in Colorado. And we went there, and there was absolutely...
there's your problem. It's Colorado.
There's absolutely,
they may be high as a kite over there, but they have no clue where their Wi-Fi is.
See, you're not the only
one. Sneezing? Okay.
No.
I was about to say, I'm like in real life reaching around trying to figure out where my tissues are just to like dab my nose a little bit. I'll work on that at a later time, but...
Okay. Your favorite TV show would never...
I would.
Yeah, I wouldn't, you would. Or, yeah.
Okay.
Your favorite TV show would never end, but you have to watch your most hated TV show too.
Okay. Now, what would constitute a favorite TV show? Would it be one that you've basically stopped watching because you outgrew it? Would that constitute as one? Because I don't really watch TV anymore. I really don't. My favorite TV show is, well, I guess you could say my favorite TV show is probably SpongeBob. But that shit ain't gonna end anytime soon. So it's just gonna keep going forever and ever. And if I have to watch C-SPAN for the rest of my life if I push this button, I wouldn't. Because both of those are never gonna end. There's like a sneeze that I'm about to have, and I'm like periodically muting myself just so I don't blow out the microphones.
I don't know. I don't think I would either. Not like I watch a lot of TV anyways.
Like, some of the best TV shows out there have like a definitive end. And that's kind of what makes them beautiful in their own way, is that they have a conclusion that wraps everything up in a nice, neat bow.
Yeah.
So to have that just sort of keep dragging itself out forever and ever is kind of a disservice to the show itself.
Big Bang Theory.
I guess you could say. Yeah. One Piece. 2,000 episodes is just way too freaking long. I could never get invested in a show that just refuses to die. Not end, die. Well, Dragon Ball technically ended. It's Dragon Ball Z also technically ended. It's Dragon Ball Super that's dragging its heels in the mud. Okay, but same old, you get the picture.
Alright.
But again, I wouldn't, because some of the best shows do come to a conclusion, and it's that ending that makes them worthwhile.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know this, but like finishing a book and then finally closing it is always satisfying. Again, I wouldn't know it, but knowing that stuff. Like, if one of my favorite TV shows is like a World War II documentary that just keeps dragging itself out, just cut. Have you stopped recording, or is you still going?
No, I'm I've been keeping recording.
You're still recording?
Yeah.
Good. That's easy then.
I think that looks good. Might have changed a little bit.
Whatever. Nothing's perfect in this world. Nobody's nerfect, as I like to say.
Except you. That's cheesy. I'm
And
sorry.
you. I followed it up with extra cheese.
All right.
So it's a super cheesy back and forth. But anyway, so this is the part where you cut back, Mana.
All right.
Hi.
Okay.
So minor technical difficulties. I got to see what it looks like when I lagged my ass off. Now I've been humbled.
Damn you.
Also took this opportunity to wipe my nose and drink some water. And hopefully I'll be a lot better now.
Hopefully.
Anyway.
Next
So
button.
I wouldn't push the button because of the fact that the show needs to end. That's essentially what we boiled it down to.
Yeah. I wouldn't because I just don't watch. Anyway.
Yeah.
You will receive eternal youth and immortality, but in order to achieve this, you must be placed in a sensory deprivation sensory
deprivation take
for the rest of the time. No.
Why the hell would anyone want to do that?
Yeah, why would you want to be immortal just to be like left with your thoughts?
I already do that. I'm gonna die anyway. It's called existing. But I wanna go out and smell the roses and watch the inevitable heat death of the universe on my own time. If that's the case, I don't want to be locked in a pod of darkness and just be like, no, you don't get to feel anything anymore. Except the crushing weight of your stupid decision. I'm not pressing that button at all.
No.
You're just like, amen, I understand that. Ditto on that front. Next button.
Okay, so
How many buttons have we pressed? We'll have to go back into this and like put in the description. Mine would press this number of buttons. Viger would press this number of buttons. Right now, I think we're tied.
I think
know there was one that you pushed that I wouldn't, and there was one that I'd pushed that you wouldn't. And then there's been several that we would push, or several that we wouldn't. I want to say we're tied, but like, how many we've actually done, I'd like to know. But we'll figure that out later.
Yeah, we'll figure.
By later, I mean probably like a week or two once this episode goes live and we actually count it up.
So, have you watched the show Naked and Afraid? That's pretty much what this button is.
Yes.
It's the ability to survive in any environment, extreme temperatures, space, underwater, etc. But you can only be naked.
I don't find myself being in any situation like that. That would justify me being in the middle of butt nowhere. In nothing but my birthday suit. I don't find myself in any sort of situation where that would be necessary. No, I'm not pushing that button at all. Granted, I could be out in the middle of the Sahara and not be blistering hot or bone dry thirsty. That would be fine, but first off, why am I in the middle of the Sahara to begin with? And why am I in nothing, not even my tidy whities? I don't understand.
Because Mina said, look, I have an idea.
Because I don't understand how I would find myself in that situation to begin with. I'm not pushing that button because it's just stupid. And I'm not Bear Grylls-ing my ass off.
Oh.
In more ways than one.
Okay, this is interesting. You win $10,000 per day, but you will never use the internet again.
That is a... No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't push that button.
I wouldn't.
So how the hell would I talk to you?
Exactly. Well...
How the hell would I make friends in this day and age? The internet's my window into the outside world now. How the heck am I going to be able to survive without it? I know that's sad to say. It's like, you can't survive without the internet? Who can? Besides the Amish.
Oh boy.
So yeah,
I'm
no,
gonna
we're
have
not pressing
to.
that button.
I'm gonna have to call
Oh, go
Liam
for
real
it.
quick.
Go for it. I'm an adult. Come on. You know you want to say it. Or are you lagging again?
Yeah, I'm what? Sorry.
Hi, hon.
Oh,
What you
Jesus,
doing?
there's a separate conversation going on again, isn't there?
There's a conversation in my head. There's a conversation with you. No, there's a conversation with Liam.
Oh boy.
Hi, babe.
You're just kind of staring off into the distance, being like,
yeah. I'm currently recording the 4th episode of Shenanigans will ensue. What's up?
Oh,
this will be
okay. I
as well,
was
future
just
mine.
wondering.
Oh, that's right. We're in a PC world. You couldn't join us if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Okay,
Alright. I'll come find you when it's done, okay?
okay.
Love you.
Love you too.
Mwah. Bye. Rude!
Okay, future mine to keep all of this in. Because I want you to see exactly what it is like when I have to hear one side of a conversation with no context whatsoever. Because all I hear is "Mwah!" And I'm like, I have nothing to go off of on that. Do with what you want with that.
He
Gotta
left
keep it
before,
whatever.
he left before I kissed him goodbye and then he... Grr! Rude.
Okay, so I guess we are gonna have to keep this in so that he knows the mistake that he has just made.
Oh, he's like he watches my videos.
The ones that he said.
No, probably. That's the only time he watches them.
Don't worry, I do that with my videos as well. Because I'm like, look at that handsome stud doing something that he mildly likes.
Alright.
With friends that he tolerates. No.
Back to the button. Yeah, I wouldn't want to press that button because, again, I wouldn't be able to talk
No.
to you, Lamb, all of my friends.
Anybody.
Wouldn't be able to check my schedule at home.
Am I gonna be late to work? I don't know. Well, technically speaking, that would not really be a problem because you're getting $10,000 a day. What work schedule are you gonna need?
I'm gonna need to keep myself
But then again,
busy.
the internet said, yeah, that's where the internet would come in, but you can't use that anymore. What are you gonna do? Just even more painting, crocheting?
Oh, like my house really needs
stuff.
more of that.
Well, that's when you build a bigger house because you're getting $10,000 a day.
Probably buy a new house.
You're making like $3.6 million a year. Not gonna lie, you kind of have stuff that would be able to preoccupy your time, but again, connection to the outside world and people outweighs literally everything else. Because here's a cool picture that I painted and drew. I'm gonna show it to Viger and get his opinion. Oh wait, I can't do that anymore.
Quietly cried myself to sleep.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll pass on that button.
Yeah.
Swipe left.
This
like
button...
everybody does to me on Tinder. Anyway.
You should not be on Tinder.
I'm not. Because they kept swiping left. Anyway.
You will be given immortality, but you have almost nothing. Now, what does that mean?
It's so vague.
Yeah.
What, are you just like a homeless vagabond out in the middle of, again, nowhere? But you can't die? Come hell or high water or both? I don't like that. You have nothing but you can't die or age or anything.
I don't like the idea of immortality, because you'd have to, like, watch all your friends die around you.
Yeah, over and over and over and over again. Because the old ones die, you make new ones, then they die, and you make new ones, and so on and so forth. The cycle repeats
You'd get
itself.
to the point where you'd probably be like a shaman. Like, you wouldn't want to go anywhere.
Be a god, because you're just this ageless, timeless thing that in our constantly monitored life, you're just there all the time, unchanging. You're at like some coronation. It's like, oh, that there he is, and then like 1,000 years later, you're one of the first people to set foot on like a new planet or something, and you haven't aged a day. Yeah, it's all fine and dandy and everything, but what's it all for when everything you care about is eventually just gonna crumble to dust? I wouldn't do it. Immortality is not all that it's cracked up to be. It'd be different if it's like, oh, you don't need to eat, or oh, you're never going to get sick, or oh, you're always going to be youthful. You can still die. But there's some negative perks with getting older and just living that you don't need to deal with anymore. That's a different sort of caveat.
Yeah.
But then again, you're still like in your 20s and your significant other is reaching his 80s, and it's like, how does this work? That's kind of a problem.
Ew.
You're Benjamin Button your way throughout the world.
I'd be technically younger than them.
Your kids get to 50. You're reaching like 160, but you don't look a day over 20. It's the anime paradox. It's a robot that's 3,000 years old, but it looks like it's 12. So, yeah, I wouldn't do that either. Basically, I would never push the button if immortality was the perk that you're pushing the button for. I just wouldn't. I'd like to hear the negative consequence, though, to justify the immortality, which it doesn't do. Just for the kicks.
Everything you wish for will come true, but you have to listen to Justin Bieber's songs for a month.
I think I can manage that. I really think for a solid month with Justin Bieber music playing at 1% volume in my head, I think I could manage that. If every single wish that I make going forward after that is good for the rest of my life, the first wish that I could make is I wish I never listened to Justin Bieber ever. And then that memory is just erased from my head. And then my second wish is I wish Justin Bieber couldn't sing anymore, and then his career would flounder and he would drop into relative obscurity.
Sing in the first place?
Apparently, who's the guy that found him in Canada?
I have no idea.
Who's that guy again? I don't care because I don't care about celebrities.
There's only like
whatever, it doesn't matter.
2 celebrities that I like. One of them's going through a trial.
Will
right
Smith
now.
and Chris Rock.
I have
but anyway,
okay.
it's like, I could.
A little off topic. So, you know how Corpse Bride is like one of my favorite movies? Johnny Depp is one of my favorite actors, and I didn't know he voiced like the main character in that until like a couple days ago. I did not.
I mean, I've never seen Corpse Bride, but I knew Johnny Depp was the main lead in that. So I was going to assume, like, oh yeah, mine would love Johnny Depp as an actor, whether it be live action or animated. We're dating this episode super hard, but just watching that trial unfold is just a spectacle. And just so if somebody doesn't make this into like a comedic tragedy movie of some sort, because it's super funny for Johnny Depp and super sad for Amber Heard, I mean, somebody needs to make this either like an animated thing, a documentary, a soap opera, something. It needs to be like put on screen, starring Johnny Depp, not Amber Heard, because screw her.
Okay.
She's completely insane in the membrane.
Definitely. So back
She's
to the
a walking,
button.
talking example of a psychopath, and her hair is stupid. Anyway.
Back to the button. No, I wouldn't push it, but you would.
Because then my first wish would so that I'd not have any memories of ever having listened to Justin Bieber for a month straight at 1% volume. There's that sneeze I was hoping for. Thank goodness.
Okay.
I can tolerate it. On a musical sense, hopefully it's in a February and a leap year, so I only have 29 days to deal with it. But again, at 1% volume, it's more or less just a drone in my ear while I'm at work, most likely. And if it's the only music that I get to listen to for a solid month, I mean, if it's only at work, then I'm actively listening to music, which I'm not even doing that. I'm listening to true crime documentaries and other documentaries on Netflix because I'm weird like that. So I could tolerate that. If I can get any wish out of it going forward with the rest of my life, there's so many things I could do with that kind of power.
I guess.
For good. For good. So, yeah.
Okay.
His third wish is make the political system actually freaking work. Anyway.
You gain $1 trillion. You will never lose it. You'll never lose access to it and can do whatever you desire, but you drop dead in 20 years. Can I make a joke and you not get offended?
Go for it. I'm white, Catholic, and I was bullied in middle school. I can't be offended at all.
Oh my god, that's the most easily people to offend.
Yeah. I'm also a man, so there's some bonus points there.
You don't have that much long
straight,
to live
so
anyways, so.
That's true. I'm dying every second of this day. 20 years means I'll die at 50. Yeah. You forget in a month I turned 30. You forget that.
No, I know you're turning 30.
Yeah, you just can't believe it. You know it is, but it's like, God damn, he's getting old.
You'd start looking for retirement homes.
Oh, they've already done that. I've already gotten like a retirement home open house invitation when I was 26, and I'm like, what the hell am I doing with this thing? I mean, if you're willing to let me just live there at 26, by all means, I will do it in a heartbeat. Sure, I'll be surrounded by old people, but hey, I get free food, free board. I don't have to pay for anything.
Okay.
My YouTube career will skyrocket. Anyway.
I want to know your answer before I say mine.
$1 trillion that is unequivocally mine and won't be lost unless I spend it on something. But I die in 20 years. That just... I don't like the existential dread of knowing the second I get that $1 trillion, the clock is ticking. I don't like that sort of... I don't like that sort of knowledge, knowing like, okay, I can actually flip through the calendars and mark on it, this is the day you die. For whatever reason, my heart just explodes for some reason. Spontaneous heart failure syndrome. I don't know. And it's just like, well, what's the point of it all? I'm not even going to be able to spend all $1 trillion of it anyway. And then what happens to it?
Yeah.
I mean, it'd probably be left to my family, but then I'm leaving my family. And getting married to someone, that's just like, oh, hi, I love you and everything, and I hope, and it's like, till death do us part. Yeah, about that.
About that!
On this day, death will part us, so deal with that. That's like the biggest red flag in the history of mankind. I have $1 trillion. I have a heart of gold. I die in 16 years. Yes, it took me 4 years with $1 trillion to finally get on a date. So is my life.
Okay, so me having a significant other, and like, if everything goes good, we'd have a family.
Yeah.
And how I plan this, I would only see them up to like 18 if I'm really lucky.
Uh-huh.
And that's for the oldest. Can you tell family is like a big part to me? I would want to see
absolutely.
them grow and like start their own family. I want to know that they're in good hands before I leave them.
You want grandkids. You want to see and hold your grandkids. I get that. You want to see your family grow and prosper, and you want to do all that stuff. You want to retire, grow old, and die on your own terms. Happy and
I go out
satisfied
my
with
way.
your life. That's the way that's the way it should go. You should die content and happy with the decisions that you've made and the legacy that you're leaving behind. Not because you took $1 trillion because you pushed a button and said, well, that's it. Then life loses all of its meaning.
You're
Once you
literally
put, like, a
trading your
deadline
life,
to it.
which is priceless, for $1 trillion.
Priceless.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I guess you could also say is priceless, but money is money. Life is a completely different thing entirely. Speaking of which, there's a video that I want to show you at some point that's like the most motivational thing I've ever heard of in my entire life, and I've seen this video like almost 10 years ago. But I'll need to show that to you like after we're done recording and everything. But
yeah.
Anyway. How many more buttons do you think we should press? Or not press?
I think we've been going for about an hour, so I'd probably say like about 5 more.
5 more, let's go.
Alright.
How many more trillions of dollars am I going to not pick, or how many times am I going to say no to immortality on this?
You will get invisibility at will, but only see same-sex naked people.
Okay.
Good thing
so
I'm bi!
I can go invisible. Yeah, that's a perk for you. It's not a perk for me.
It's a win-win
straight man
scenario.
over here. Yeah, you can go invisible and peeping Tom your way all over the goddamn place. Whereas I'm just like, oh god, no, oh no, god. Good thing I'm invisible because this would be even more awkward. Oh no. In my line of work, I don't want to see that at all. So, yeah, I'll kindly pass on that. I'm already invisible enough as is, so... He shrugs condescendingly. If there's ever somebody that can bury me 6 feet under, it's me. Oh boy, howdy, am I ever one that can throw myself under the bus? What's this button say?
It's not pretty. You can read everyone's mind, but everyone can read your mind.
That would be kind of weird.
I'm gonna go with...
Because then everyone would just be like, oh, he's reading my mind. Because I'd just be like, and now I'm gonna read this person's mind. Most people would just hear static noise if I was listening in. Just static. Or maybe the neon cat theme, maybe.
If people could read my mind, I'd get in a lot of trouble.
We'd
especially at work.
There's a lot of Customer walks up to your cash register. Hello, welcome. How can I help you today? Oh, this guy. You'd be terrible in customer service unless you have a positive outlook on literally everybody that walks through the door, which is impossible in the retail industry. You will always have a negative opinion of literally everybody walking into that building because you are desensitized by it.
Also, like, my coworkers, too.
I know that too.
Like,
yeah,
whatever.
That too.
Anyway,
so
I also wouldn't
know on us.
I wouldn't want to know what other people thought of me, because I like to live in ignorance is bliss. I'd rather live in bliss than like existential like dread.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice to not know things, So I know. Oh gosh, I got another sneeze going on. Are you gonna do it? We'll probably see that huge blow that I just did there, but nothing happened. I'm getting quick on the muting bit, but again, with telepathy two ways, yes, they can't read everybody else's mind. You can read everybody else's mind, but they can read your mind when you're reading their mind. I mean, I don't really see any sort of positive thing to that because some things are better left unknown. Like you said, ignorance is bliss.
Yeah.
You can't understand what anyone else is thinking, but at the same time, nobody else can understand what you're thinking. Everyone's left to their own devices mentally. So
Dude,
that's
how
always
easy would that be for therapy though? You could just read the therapist's mind and the therapist could be like,
they would be the only ones that would benefit from that. They would be the only ones that could benefit from that. But then I don't think anybody would want to go to your therapy sessions because they would realize, oh, they're going to know everything. And maybe there's some things I don't want them to know. Because if Chris Chan went to that kind of therapist, oh, Lord howdy, that would just be one hell of a problem. Anyway.
You have the ability to turn invisible, but only in complete darkness. What's the fucking point?
So, yeah, they already can't see me and I can't see them. And where am I going to be in total darkness? There's usually always going to be some form of light, whether it be the stars or literally just like your PC monitors. I'm getting power blinking light in the darkness. Okay. The little red button that says, "Hey, there's power here," but your computer is off. That's light, not total darkness. So you're just not being invisible ever.
Yeah.
So that's not a win.
So this next button is you have a cure to a pandemic, but the cure that has been obtained from the person you love most, and the process will kill them.
So we're dealing with The Last of Us, spoiler alert. I'm going to say no on that front. Just off of principle, you can find a cure somewhere else. Because there's always a plan B. Where are the tissues? Where are you?
Where are the
there
tissues?
You are. Not because I'm crying, but because I'm leaking. Not out of my eyes, out of my nose.
Okay, so this is tough because it would probably be you, and I wouldn't want to sacrifice you if you didn't want to. But if the shoes were reversed, I would. That too, I wouldn't want to sacrifice Tammy. Well, okay.
I know.
For people of importance,
love is a significant other, and love is a friend.
Yeah.
Love is who you consider the most important person in your life.
That's what I
consider it. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Here's the thing.
Olivia is a friend as well.
You're permanent. I don't know if Lammy's gonna save my hand.
Yep, you put it out there, and I took advantage of it.
But no, I know you're a permanent thing. We don't know if Lamb's a permanent thing.
I'd like to think so.
I like to think so too, but at the same time, anything could happen. So
you never know. Life be life like that.
If the tables were reversed, I could save so many people. I would want you to sacrifice me.
Nope, not happening.
Damn it.
Under any circumstances, if you were the cure and killing you was the surefire thing, I'm shooting every doctor on site and walking you out of there. That's the plan. I totally did not take that from Last of Us. Spoilers alert. Anyway.
Alright. This is the second to last button. All your dreams will come true, but you spend the rest of your life asleep.
Oh, yeah, that's pointless.
Yeah.
I'm about to sneeze again. Oh, jeez. You just see me launch down there, and there's nothing. There's nothing happening there. So yeah, it's again one of those things like, oh, you get this amazing power, can't use it at all. And it's just like, well, what's the freaking point? What is the freaking point on that front?
I love this is the last button we get to do.
Oh boy, I'm all ears for this.
You can change the size of your dick and boobs at will, but everyone will know about it.
You can't see this, but I'm like squinting my eyes in contemplation with just the ramifications of that kind of power. I'm like sitting on my bed here, in shorts, barefooted, with a TV strapped to my face, contemplatively thinking, I could make my dick as big as I want. The only downside is, everyone will know that I'm getting erect. Interesting.
Oh, I'd probably do it because if I'm doing it myself, like it's my own body growing it, they're gonna still feel the same. So who cares if they? So who cares if they know?
It's gonna be one of those days. I don't know, it's gonna be one of those days where it's just like we're in VR chat, and I'm just gonna be over here, and all of a sudden. And it's gonna be one of those days where you're gonna be in VR chat, and then we're just together, and you're gonna look at me like. I wouldn't. I wouldn't, just because, again, ignorance is bliss. They don't need to know. You can get away with it a little bit more. Incrementally. Oh, they grew another centimeter. Oh, they did it again. Wow, she's really going to town on that. Oh, she's backtracking. Went too far. Went too far. It's literally a VR chat slider where they open up the little hand menu and just dial it up, dial it back. That is essentially what you get access to. Yeah. I don't get access to that because I'm a guy and that is highly frowned upon, apparently. Sexist as all hell.
We still live in a very sexist society, but I'm not going to get into that.
No, like we said at the outset of the show, we do not get political or anything like that.
I think
we try to stay away from that. We are the blissful ignorance that everyone is so feverishly needing nowadays, whether they admit it or not.
I think the most political that we got would be the trial.
Yeah, and that's just a joke. That's just a funny show that's just transpiring in front of us. And the only thing political about it is the judicial system that it's taking place in. And can we really consider that as political? Is it really showing my political bias to say that Amber Heard is absolutely out of her freaking mind? And I'm so sorry that Johnny Depp has to deal with that. And the ramifications of that. Of the fallout from that.
Okay, side note, did you know that DC is dropping Amber Heard and the new Mira is going to be replaced with Johnny Depp?
I know it's a joke, but that would be freaking hilarious. You just see this red-headed Johnny Depp mer woman floating over there. Hello, just like, hello there, Aquaman. It's I, Jack Sparrow. I be Johnny Depp. I be Mira. God damn, that would just be so freaking hilarious.
I'd love to see that. Anyway,
somebody will make it. That he Won so unequivocally in that entire court case, he won the role in the defamation suit. He took the house, the kids, the DC role. He took everything from her. He would take her
her
salary,
career's
but she
already
lost that
gone.
a long time ago. Yeah, absolutely. We could all accept that.
Yeah.
Well, but I think that's it for this episode.
I had fun.
Unless we have any other closing things. We could do this with either more people, because again, that button's always changing. We could do some would you rathers, because I know there's a world that we could get to on that. And pin the camera up and be like, look at all the board and everything. And us running around trying to make that decisions and everything. I would have said probably do the Pokemon Smash or Pash world again. But because they repeat it so many times, it's just so it's not conducive enough to make a video out of. So
we need to get like
we'd
a big
have to get
group
like the
for
official
that.
list. Oh yeah, big group, and then have it so that it is the one time, no repeats sort of thing.
Yeah.
But I think that's it for this episode. I'll spitball on future episodes and ideas or repeats with just more people. Preferably people who are comfortable with talking. I'm sorry, George, or if you actually watch this.
Jinx.
Would be nice.
Too. Sorry, sis. I loved you in episode 3, but you barely talked. Don't at me.
She could be the host then. She has no choice but to talk. Bring the topic.
Bring the topic to
I guess
it,
we'll call
lady.
it there. Yeah. I guess we'll leave the episode there. So,
Bye.
see ya when we ensue more shenanigans. And then that's where you got it.
No, really?